Hello, everyone. This is another podcast of On the Narrow Path. I had another fruitful day today. We all did. We got our pictures taken for residency renewal. So that was a busy day today, trying to get ready for that. Every 2 years here in Germany, it's time for renewal, which means new pictures. We went out walking. Tim and I walked out this evening. It's evening now here. It's still light, as you can tell. We still have a couple hours of light left. Sun's starting to go down though now, right? Because we've passed the summer solstice, so every day's a little bit shorter, just by a tiny bit. But as we were walking, I like to walk and pick the wild strawberries, as you've heard me share before. And Tim was recognizing that it's kind of pleasant to do and they taste really good. He hasn't been enjoying walking out there as much as me. He's had other forms of exercise that he's been doing. So he came out and did some walking and praying. I wanted to take a couple more pictures of him out in the woods. We got pictures done in the studio because they had to be a special type for passports. And since I had him dressed up, I thought this was a good time to get some more pictures in different ways for him as well for other things. So I was sharing with him. I was sharing with him why I like walking and picking strawberries or picking berries, and I've learned a lot actually by crouching down and picking strawberries. I think about how if God doesn't provide for the rain and provide exactly the right weather that we need, that our food supply is no more. And I think about how having, when you grow up with grocery stores all the time and there's food there and storages of food, how privileged we are in our lifetime to have that. Because out here and in most everywhere, you used to have to be very diligent at looking for food sources and figuring out how to preserve it so that you could make it through winters or make it through whatever droughts or whatever came up. So we were very much at the mercy even more to what God was doing with our food sources. We have much more preservation now and many more things happening that it doesn't seem as real to us how much we need God. But in truth, we always really need God. And sometimes we don't stop and slow down to recognize. We talk about it and say, oh yeah, we need God, but we don't really understand how much he's doing. Actually, how much work has gone in for us to have the conveniences we have. Because, people are cultivating food for us, and that is their livelihood, so that we can focus on other things. And we have machinery that wasn't before, and we've learned how to be more efficient with things. And we like to think that we have no time. In truth, we have the opportunity to have a lot more time. And we could slow down and have a lower standard of living, maybe, with a little more time and than any other time in human history. Any other time in human history, this has the best opportunity for that. Your clothes are made. There's so many clothes that you can get hand-me-downs pretty easily, or, beg for clothes really fast, or people throw them at you. We just have an abundance of a lot of things. And I also think about, when I'm picking strawberries, how abundant God is. How he reigns on the righteous and the wicked. He takes care of all. He loves that much. Even his enemies he takes care of. He sustains them with life and with time to try to figure it out. So I think that we talk about these things and we stop and we hear these pretty little messages and go, yeah, that's true, for a second. And then we go on with our busy little lives and say, oh, I feel good that I spent a little time thinking about God, and thank you, and then move on. I think it's really important for us to start slowing down and just recognizing the value of each second. How it was, we deserve, the wages of sin is death, according to Romans, right? And instead of giving us death, He gives us life, and he gives it to us abundantly, physical life as well as spiritual life. And slowing down and appreciating each moment, even when it's difficult. Let's say you miss a few meals, and you just have air to breathe. Let's say you have, you're feeling ill in your body somehow, and things are really tough, or you're in tough situations with relationships. Those things can be difficult to go through. But the opportunity to experience things, and many of those things will actually be temporary, even if they last for many years. And I've been through sicknesses, I've been through difficult things. I know how hard it can be and how many years it can drag on and on like it'll never end. All those things are used to help build characteristics in us that last forever. You've heard me say that before. But it's really important to understand this physical life is intended to be temporary. And it's to help train us and give us a forum to be able to practice seeing what doesn't work and what does work. And what doesn't work is anything unlike love, right? So we get to come to those conclusions through our experiences, and he gives us enough time to find that out. And that love works. Loving God with our whole heart, mind, and soul, and loving our neighbor as ourselves, it does work. It works for us, even if it doesn't look like it works to anyone else, because maybe you get more persecution for it. Maybe your love is misunderstood. Maybe you're rejected, like the Messiah, for loving in that way, because people get scared because they can't control you as well with love, right? You've heard a few of those podcasts that I've talked about these things. But you must be convinced that it brings you peace, and it makes you feel like you've done something valuable with your life, and that it's something that you would hope would be sustained and maintained for eternity with everybody living together, that they would have the same mentality of wanting to love one another so that we can have peace amongst one another, learning to love one another as ourselves for the love of God, because his way is the only way that truly works. So every second that you have breath, those are the opportunities and possibilities to make those choices and to make those ideas yours, his idea, his will to become your will, instead of having your own sight and your own way of doing things and say, God, just like, don't look for a minute and let me take care of this problem, and then you can turn back, right? None of us have ever thought that. I don't know how I came up with that idea at all. So this has been another On the Narrow Path, trying to help you to be encouraged on to good works, and know that I am learning how to do these things myself. And every day I'm having to reorient myself just like the rest of you. We can do it though. God has given us his strength to do this through the Spirit that was sent to us, the Comforter that was sent to us because the Messiah died and then sent it to us. So with his strength, everything is possible. You don't have to do it on your own strength. God bless you all, and leave comments if you'd like. And if you want to get a hold of us, either leave comments or you can go to escapeallthesethings.com and find our email addresses and all kinds of free content up there. Tons of free content up there. There's some stuff to pay for too if you'd like, but you can find so much for free. It's crazy. All right. I love you all. This has been another podcast. We'll see you soon.